Hello, students. In continuation of my previous class on federalism, which is lesson number 2, Pol Science for grade 10, today I am going to cover the next topic, which also will be coming in your EVA1 examination. It is what makes India a federal country. To start with, I'll go back to the lesson PDF. And I'll do a quick recap of what we have covered in the previous classes. We learned about the meaning and definition of what is federalism as one of the 4 forms of power sharing. We also looked at the map of the world with the countries which are called federal, 25 countries of the world. I did give you the example of United Arab Emirates, but that was just for understanding of what a federation is. But as you can see, it is not a democratic country. Okay. So here we are talking about forms of power sharing in all democracies in today's world. 4 forms of power sharing, and this lesson is primarily focusing on the second form of power sharing, which is vertical and which is also known as federalism or federal form of power sharing. Now, apart from that, we learned about the difference between a federal country and a unitary form of government. We discussed about Belgium as a country which was earlier unitary and it became a federal country to resolve the conflicts in their country during the 20th century. Uh, on the other hand, we also talked about Sri Lanka as an example of a unitary form of government, which in this country, there was a rule of the Sinhala government, which was a majoritarian form of government. So we cannot call it a federal country. Then the difference between unitary and federal, after that, after understanding the differences between unitary and federal form of government, we looked at the 7 important features of what makes a country a federal country. What are the main features of federalism? We covered that. After that, we had discussed about the main differences. In the previous class, I had covered the difference between coming together federations and holding together federations. Yes, as we can see, in globally we have 196 countries, and all these countries, different forms of governments are there. So different forms of government have different types of political systems. They are based on their how they have evolved. So that has made all these democracies, present democracies, is being practiced in different ways. So based on that, some countries are following federalism, in which they all have pulled together their sovereignty and while retaining their identity. So there is equal form of power sharing in such countries. Such countries are known as coming together federation. As example has been given in your textbook as USA, Switzerland, and Australia. Whereas India, Spain, and Belgium are holding together federations. Why? Because in these countries, the central government is usually more powerful, and all the states, all the constituents units which are there in the country, they have unequal power sharing. Some states are enjoying special powers, whereas others are not. To understand this better, we had discussed this, the activity given in the lesson. And today also in my PowerPoint slide, I will show you few more case studies and examples which I did not cover in the previous class. So case studies and examples for coming together and holding together is clearly explained over here in this slide. One example of coming together federation, as it is given in your textbook also, is United States of America. The United States is the classic example of this model. Originally, 13 independent colonies, sovereign states decided to join together to form a bigger nation. So 13 colonies was when there was a war of independence in America during the 18th century. And you remember in history, you've studied the French Revolution and how France supported America to gain its independence. So it became independent. The 13 colonies which were under the British colonial imperial rule, they got their independence, they came together, and America became a federation. And we all know American constitution is the first constitution of the world. Also, these states did, why did they do it? What was the reason behind doing, coming together as a federation? The reason was to protect themselves from any external threats like they got from Britain. okay, to ensure that each state is able to retain its identity. Identity here means to they are able to retain and safeguard their language and their culture and their ethnicity and protect their people's rights, right? Because they joined as equals, every state in United States has the same rights and powers under under their constitution. So presently in America, there are 50 states. So all of them are enjoying equal powers. So their sovereignty is retained and their identity is retained. Okay, that is why America is known as a coming together federation. On the other hand, we have Belgium. Belgium is like India, it is a holding together federation. Okay, Belgium shifted from a unitary to a federal system to resolve linguistic tensions between Dutch speaking and French speaking regions. By holding together through power sharing, they prevented the country from splitting apart along ethnic lines. So, students, this is the difference between the coming together and holding together federation with example and case studies. I hope it will be clear to you. In case if you still have any doubts in understanding of coming together and holding together federation, please ask queries. Okay, the example of UAE, as I had mentioned in the previous video, is mainly to understand the meaning of a coming together federation. But UAE, as it is shown in the map of the world in your textbook, is not a democracy. So, in case if you're giving examples countries, don't mention UAE. Okay, you can mention the countries which are there in your textbook. Now we move to the next slide. Some more case studies, specifically India, we will talk about, and this is something which we are gradually moving to. Here we are gradually moving to the topic of this particular video, which is whether India is a federal country or not. Here clearly we have mentioned as India as a federal country, as a holding together federation in this particular section of the lesson. Okay, so now why India is called a holding together federation? First of all, why federalism? We have understood it leads to all the people of the country, they feel they are accommodated, and that ensures the unity and of the country, and also protects the rights of the people. So this is the reason why all these countries are becoming federal. So when we are talking about holding together federation, and when we are talking about our country, India, India follows the holding together route at independence. India was already a large, diverse entity, as I was explaining. Instead of states joining from outside, the nation decided to distribute power downwards to different states to ensure smooth governance and respect for regional diversity. Now, to understand this better, let us look at your textbook map, which is given on page number 18. Here in the page number 18, this is the map of India, okay, in 1947 when our country became independent. So here, the one marked with these slanting lines is the Pakistan territory, which got, after the partition, the Pakistan was formed, and the Indian protected states, as you can see. As there were no states during that time, as you can see, most of them were the provinces. Okay, there were in total 11 provinces. Here you can see central provinces, Gujarat, Rajputana, West Pakistan before the partition. But after partition, in India, 8 provinces were remaining. As you can see, the one which are mentioned in the capital letters, they are the provinces. So now, during that time, also the central government gave its power, some of its powers to the provinces. Provincial governments were formed. Why? Because to manage such a large country was not easy. The central government could not do it on its own. So at that time, 2 tiers were already there, right? They're the central government and the provincial government, which is the second tier. So two level of government is clearly visible. But then central government was more powerful. Okay, so that is why it was holding together federation. Now, when we talk about the local government, so local government, we had the villages in all these provinces. We had again a system of administration, and there was a third tier also at the village level. We know the system of panchayati raj in the villages. So gradually, this was this system of tiers, as you can see, because in a federal, one of the features of federalism is that there should be two tiers. So here the two tiers are already visible, and the book is clearly explaining that India was a holding together federation. So this answers our question whether India was a federal country or not. It is explained over here. The question was, what makes India a federal country? Now we are going to understand it about this a little. We will go deeper into it. What makes India a federal country, and that too a holding together federation. Now in India, there is asymmetric power. Unlike the United States, not all Indian states have equal power. Some, like the northeastern states, have been granted special status. For example, the Article 371 to protect their unique cultures, not only the culture and the language, but to protect the people also, their employment opportunities, economic development, social development, educationally they are backward. So to protect the sovereignty, their identity and their culture, as per the Article 371, the seven sister states, as it is shown in this particular map, I have added this map in this slide. You can see all these are northeastern states, Meghalaya, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, etc. They all were under the Article 371, have been protected, have given a special status to protect their sovereignty and their identity and their culture, and also the opportunities for people for their social and economic development. Apart from that, we know that India has also formed, we have 28 states and 8 union territories. The union territories are regions which are governed by the central government, by the union government directly. We will learn about the union territories in the forthcoming sections. Okay, now let us come to the main topic of today's classes, what makes India a federal. Now, children, in India, as we have just now, I have explained that already the three tiers were there in the constitution also. The powers were specified. Central power government was more powerful, but then this was not in practice in India. Okay. So later on, as per the Constitution of India, the distribution of legislative powers was already there. There was a threefold distribution of legislative powers depending upon the subjects and the categories of the subjects that are there. Okay, so there are mainly four lists that come under there are mainly three lists, but one extra has been added as a residuary list. First is the union list, second is the state list, and the third is the concurrent list. Now, before we proceed, I proceed on to explain this part. Let us look at your textbook also. What is it that is making India a federal country? In your constitution, in the preamble of the constitution, we are not declaring India as a federal country also. Remember, whenever you are reciting the preamble of India every day in the morning in your assembly, we have declared India as a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, right? But we're not mentioning the word federal anywhere in the preamble. But it does not mean that we are not federal, okay? When we talk about the constitution, India has emerged as an independent nation after a painful and bloody partition, as we've just seen in the map. Soon after independence, several princely states became a part of the country. Children, if you remember, the Iron Man of India, Sardar Patel, had actually, convinced these princely states to become a part of the Indian Union. We did not, force them to become a part of our country. If you remember, we are studying this in your history lesson also about the meaning of nationalism and freedom, and meaning of nationalism for countries like colonized countries like India, and meaning of nationalism for the European countries. So in India, what we wanted was, after we got the freedom, we did not force any people to become a part of the Indian Union. Our government decided to enter into an alliance, into an agreement wherein these princely states, more than 500 princely states were there. They became a part of the Union of India, the country India. Okay, and that makes India a federal country, because all these separate princely states, they were like kingdoms. They agreed to become a part of a larger country, that is India. So all these, they were not independent on their own. They became a part of India. They got merged with India. The Constitution declared India as a union of states, and they willingly did it. It's not that they were forced to. Although it did not use the word federation, Indian Union is based on the principles of federalism. Okay, now this boy is asking a question here. Isn't that strange? Did our constitution makers not know about federalism, or did they wish to avoid talking about it? It is not that they wish to avoid talking about it. It is just that it was very early for our people to, to manage the administration of the country. After 200 years, we were under the rule of the Britishers. And when they left, they were in, it took, we all have learned in the previous classes, it took 3 years for the Constituent Assembly to draft the Constitution, and it came into force in the year 1950. Right? So it was a very early period for us, and it is not that they were avoiding about it, it's that they were gradually developing a system which will ensure that the diverse communities, the diverse people of the country are accommodated. We know that India is a country of diverse cultures, diverse languages. More than 1,300 languages are spoken in our country, right? And people are coming from so many different ethnicities, cultures, religion, caste, creed, etc. Right? Now let us go back to the 7 features of federalism. When we look at all the 7 features of federalism, you will find that all of them are applying to India. We can see that all these features apply to the provisions of the Indian Constitution. The Constitution originally provided for a two-tier system of government. The union government, or what we call the central government, representing the Union of India, and the state governments was there. So when 2 tiers are there, it means India was a federal country. Later, a third tier of federalism was added in the form of panchayats and municipalities. As in any federation, these different tiers enjoy separate jurisdictions. And as per the policy of decentralization in 1992, many other powers were taken from the central government and given to the state and the local government, earlier which was not being practiced actually in India. Okay, it was just there in the constitution, but it was not put in force effectively. And it is not that they were avoiding talking about it. It is just that we were evolving as a country which is federal, and the system of power sharing was evolving during this time. Okay. The constitution clearly provided a threefold distribution about which I have already explained here. These are the 3 lists, the main 3 lists, the threefold distribution of legislative powers was done. So union list, what all subjects are covered in the union government, all powers, what are the subjects on which the central government or the union government is having power is the defense of the country. Then foreign affairs, okay, if we are getting into alliances or, interactions with or making any alliance or signing any agreement with any foreign country. So that comes under the central government. Banking, communications, printing of the currency notes, safety of safety of the country, also communications. When we are talking about communications, it's talking about our, in today's times, technological advancements have taken place. So telecommunications, online communication, internet communications, they are all coming under the central. State list, the local police, the police of the state government. Trade, commerce, agriculture, irrigation, all these are coming under the state list. Okay, then we have the concurrent list. The concurrent list are those subjects which are coming under both the union list and state. They are coming under both. We all are the citizens of Maharashtra. We are residing in Maharashtra, so we are the citizens and domicile of Maharashtra, but then we also are citizens of India. Right? So the central government is also answerable to us, and the Maharashtra government also is answerable to us. Now let us take the example of education. Now every state in the country, why this has been done? Let us understand that. Every state of the country has the right to protect its own culture, language, ethnicity. Okay, so for doing this, if you look at the field of education, it is not only coming under the central government. You people are studying from the central board books. Yes, CBSE books are from the central government. But in our state, we have the state government schools and the state government books also. Now, when you look at the books of both the central board and the state board books, you will find a difference. The state board books are promoting the culture of Maharashtra, the stories and the people of the Maharashtra are being added in your social science lessons. The Marathi languages has been given a lot of importance. Why? To protect the language and culture. Okay, what are the in your social science books, the kind of dance forms that are there in Maharashtra, the cuisine and the food and the culture, That has been explained more in the state government books apart from your central government. Why this has been done? Because we want to protect the sovereignty and identity of all the people of the country, diverse people, and they should feel accommodated. They should not feel that their culture is being ignored. They should feel equal, right? We are a secular country and we are a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic wherein all people have equal rights. All people enjoy equal. So all states also are enjoying equal rights. So they have a right to protect their own culture and ethnicity. Like for example, in Maharashtra state government books, we have lessons on Shivaji Maharaj, whereas in the books from Uttar Pradesh, we will have stories from, the leaders of Uttar Pradesh, like for example, our first president of India, Rajendra Prasad, was from Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so stories from their culture will be included in the state government. Similarly, West Bengal, we have more stories on Rabindranath Tagore, right? So these are the three lists. Now the last list that is here is mentioned as the residuary list. Is, as it is clearly specified here, computer software. Now, children, during the time of independence, nobody knew what was a computer, right? Nobody knew about the social media, but social media, mobile phones are, it is a new innovation in today's times. So our constitution, as you all know, we have a fundamental right of constitutional remedies, right? So as and when the new changes are happening, new laws are being made. Now these laws are coming under the residuary list. Okay, they are not a part of all the three lists. They come under the new things and new innovations, and when they are happening, they are coming under the residuary list. For example, the cyber laws to protect the people of India from any kind of cyber crime. This is something new in today's time, so this will come under the residuary list. Now, we have seen the three lists over here. Okay, now it is not that everywhere there will be, the rules will follow according to, the rules are followed as per the Constitution of India, but then there are instances and situations when there may be a conflict between the central government or the state government or the local government. Also there may be conflicts. So how to deal with these conflicts? Now the conflict resolution, as it is mentioned in the features of federalism also, if the laws conflicts with each other, the laws made by the union government will finally prevail. Okay, but it does not mean that they are not independent. The matter will go to the court. The judiciary will decide. For example, for the local government, they can go to the district court. The state government will go to the high court. But if they are not satisfied, that can be taken to the Supreme Court, which is in the capital of India, right? That's the final court that we have. So if the conflict resolution can go till the central government, but finally, if there is a bigger conflict, then finally the law made by the union government will go. Please make a note of this point. Okay. Second thing which is important is, according to our constitution, the union government has the power to legislate on all the residuary subjects. The fourth list that we are mentioning over here, it will not come under the state list. It will not come under the concurrent list. All the subjects of the residuary list will come under the union government only. Okay. Now here, India are holding together federation. I've explained it in this previous class also. Why we call it a holding together federation? Because there is unequal distribution of powers. Some states are enjoying special privileges, special powers have been, special status have been given to them. Why? Because of their peculiar social and historical circumstances, and because they need to be socially and educationally, they may be backward, to protect the rights of the people, to protect the sovereignty, identity and culture of these states. They have been given special status. So that is why unequal distribution of power is there, and that is why India is a holding together federation. Okay. As per the Article 371, Assam, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, and Mizoram are enjoying special status. Okay. Now, what is special status? Again, I'm explaining here. Special status, what it means is, it means protection of land rights of indigenous people, their culture, and also preferential employment in government services. So if anybody from outside is going and settling in Mizoram or seven sister states, they will not be given preference. First, the preference will be given to the natives of the domicile people. Same is applying for Maharashtra also. If you go for college admissions, for example, you will find if students are coming from outside the state of Maharashtra, if they are not the domicile of Maharashtra, their preference will be later. It will be considered later. Okay. So as you can see, Indians who are not permanent residents of the state cannot buy land or house over there also. Right? This is known as a special status. Why this has been done? To protect the economy, protect the employment opportunities, and they may be socially or educationally or in terms of, socially they might be backward. To protect the citizens of these states, these kind of special status has been given to the states. Earlier, Jammu Kashmir was enjoying the special status as per Article 370, which has been abrogated. Why it was abrogated? For the welfare of the people, because for so many years there was violence and problems going on in Kashmir. So to deal with those problems, the government of India decided to, dissolve the Article 370. And now in place of Jammu and Kashmir as a state, now it is divided into two union territories, and it is coming under the central government rule as a union territory. To protect the people's welfare, it is coming under the central government rule of India. Then similar special provisions exist for some other states of India as well. This sentence has been given in your textbook, but it has not been elaborated. Okay. Here it is mentioned over here that special status has been given to some states of India. Also here it is mentioned. Okay. Here. Okay, I explained about Article 370. Similar special provisions exist for some other states of India. Okay, in your textbook, it is mentioned. So I have given you more information here that part 21 of the Indian Constitution contains Article 371 and 371A through 371J, granting special provisions to the 12 states of India: Maharashtra, Gujarat, Nagaland, Assam, Manipur, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Sikkim, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Goa, and Karnataka. So they have been given the special status to protect their sovereignty, identity, and protects the right of their people, protect their employment opportunities, provide them educational and other facilities. Okay, now what are union territories? Now we are coming to the next topic. The next subtopic under this main topic is, what are union territories? Why are they formed? What is their identity like in India? There are some units of Indian Union which enjoy very little power. Okay, why? Because they are coming directly under the control of the central government. These are areas which are too small to become an independent state, but which could not be merged with any of the existing states. The reason is that, children, if let us take the capital of India, Delhi. Here in this particular map of India, I have mentioned a map wherein all the union territories are mentioned. Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh is not mentioned. Ladakh is also a union territory. Chandigarh, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu also have been separated now, children. Okay. Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Puducherry, Lakshadweep. Here, the kind of people, the group of, if you look at the demographics of these areas, you will find there is a mixture of people living over here from different cultures. So you cannot call them independent states. They are not having any one specific language they are speaking, or one specific people of one specific culture are not in majority over here. It's a heterogeneous group of people in these states, in these union territories. So that is why they're directly coming under the rule of the central government. These territories do not have the powers of the state. The central government has special powers in running these areas to facilitate national level policies, ensuring uniformity, manage interstate trade, handle international trade, and manage central institutions. The union territories have. Okay. Now here, children, this girl is asking, has given an activity question has been given here in your textbook. If agriculture and commerce are state subjects, why do we have ministers of agriculture and commerce in the union cabinet? What is the reason for that? So the answer is, the union and the state governments have the power to raise resources by levying taxes in order to carrying on the government and the responsibilities assigned to each of them. So in case of the dispute, the high courts and the Supreme Courts are taking the decisions. Okay. And whether it is related to the raising of the resources or levying the taxes, they have, as per the constitution, the sources of revenue are clearly defined. Okay. Now here, the solution to this particular question that I was looking at was that, this why in the union government the agriculture and commerce, though they are state subject, okay, they are not considered as a central government subject. The union cabinet, the central government has the ministers for agriculture and commerce is because to manage the affairs effectively. Okay, so this is the reason. Then what is the role of the judiciary in managing the conflicts? It's about managing the union and the state government affairs effectively and better administration. So judiciary is playing an important role in overseeing the implementation of constitutional powers and procedures. Okay, in case of any dispute about the division of powers, the high courts and the supreme courts make the decision. Okay, now children, we will come to the activity. Okay, now this is the final part of the lesson, which will include the activity on finding out about. Here's one activity, one more activity given in your textbook is about listen to a national and one national news bulletin broadcast by All India Radio daily for 1 week. Make a list of news items related to the government, policies or decisions by classifying them into following categories. News items that relate to only the central government. News items that relate only to your or any other state government. News items related to relationship between central and state government. So all these will show that there may be conflicts. So this has been explained in this particular slide, how judiciary plays a key role in managing the conflicts between all the three tiers of government in our country. Okay, now here let us look at these activity questions and we'll look at the solutions to the activity questions. Okay, so first question is Pokhran, the place where India conducted its nuclear tests, lies in Rajasthan. Suppose the government of Rajasthan was opposed to the central government's nuclear policy. Could it prevent the government of India from conducting the nuclear tests? So the solution to this answer is no. The government of Rajasthan cannot prevent the government of India because it is a matter of national interest, the defense of the country, entire country. Okay, so the government of India can conduct the nuclear test in Pokhran even if it is opposed by the state of Rajasthan. Under the Indian Constitution, defense and atomic energy are subjects in the union list, giving the central government exclusive authority to make decisions regarding national security. Next question is, children, please make a note of these questions because they can come as your multiple choice question in the board exam also. Okay. So suppose the government of Sikkim plans to introduce new textbooks in the schools, but the union government does not like the style. Let's suppose Maharashtra state government is bringing some new textbook and the central government does not like it. And the content of the new textbook also they are not liking. In that case, does the state government need to take permission from the union government before this textbook can be launched? So the answer is yes. The Sikkim government would likely need to take permission because it is a concurrent subject, dear children. Education is a concurrent subject. Yes. So the Sikkim government would likely need to take permission or amend the textbooks to satisfy the union government. Since education falls under the concurrent list of Indian Constitution, both governments can legislate on it, but the union government's decision will prevail in the case of a. Okay. Then third one is, suppose the chief ministers of Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Odisha have different policies on how their state police should respond to the Naxalites. Naxalites are the, we have learned about the Naxalites in your earlier classes also, the people who were against many of the government policies of the government of India. So they formed these, terrorist, they from the Naxal in the Naxal areas. It's kind of an terrorist, group of people. So different states, and it's not that it is there in one state. Different states have this problem of dealing with the Naxal terrorists. So can the Prime Minister of India intervene and pass an order that all the chief minister will have to obey? The answer will be no. The central government cannot tell them because every state has to take care of the protection. The police is coming under this is coming under the state list. The Prime Minister cannot pass a binding order in this scenario. Why? Because under the Indian Constitution, police is a subject in the state list, meaning state governments have exclusive authority over their police forces. The PM can advise or coordinate but cannot override state policies on Naxalism. Similarly, I can give you one more example. Petroleum prices we know are rising everywhere. So a few years back, the government had declared that you have to reduce, central government was declaring, and it was trying to, convey to the state governments to reduce the prices of petroleum. Okay. To deal with the increasing burden, the increasing inflation and increasing rise of prices for the people of the country. Some of the states agreed with the central government, but some of the states did not. For example, Maharashtra did not reduce the petroleum prices. Why? Because in Maharashtra we know there is a Pune, where we are living today. Pune is the two-wheeler capital. We know people are buying, they have the capacity to buy so many vehicles, and when they are buying so many vehicles, it will mean that there is a lot of pollution they are going to create. So the Maharashtra government has decided not to reduce the prices of petroleum. If you look at the prices of petroleum in New Delhi, let's suppose, they are far less as compared to petroleum prices in Maharashtra. The reason is it is the where the people are spending, and and the subject of the taxes and collecting the revenue is in the hands of the state government. So the sources of revenues are clearly also defined. So in this case also the central government cannot interfere. Okay, so here, children, we are ending this part on what makes India a federal country, and we have completed this particular section till page number 18, which is coming in your EVA1 examination. So I'm going to share some more question answers and other question answers. Apart from that, some worksheets I will be sharing with you as notes for your revision. Along with that, you can refer to this particular video for completing your revision. Okay. Thank you so much.